The content, views, and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the producer and do not necessarily reflect their views and opinions for the City of Bremerton, BCAT, their officials, or their employees. Hello, Mark Miller here, and once again we have another episode of the Kitsap Literary Artists and Writers Creative Showcase. Today I have Dakoda Foxx. Like me, she's a veteran. She's also a writer, filmmaker, and an actress. And she also has a nonprofit organization that helps a lot of the disadvantaged individuals in the surrounding communities. So, thank you for coming today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And we'll start out with you're not originally from Washington State.
No.
So how did you wind up coming out here?
Oh man, I just wound up here.
Yeah.
I've been here for like 23 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you start writing when you first showed up out here, or?
No, I've been writing my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been writing since I was a little girl, so that was second nature to me.
What did you used to, when you started out as a young girl and everything? What did you used to write?
Poems, short stories, just little sayings.
Okay. And now I understand you have like 9 different books.
Yep.
Okay, and part of them has to do with horrific subjects?
Yeah, some horrific subjects, some fun subjects. There's a book about my wife, book about my grandkids, a picture book, about to write a poem book, and then I also have my memoir, The Magic and Nightmare That Was Me, and then now I'm writing a sequel to that one called The Inner Me.
Okay, and of course, as a disclaimer, both you and I have the same publisher, Blue Forge Press.
Correct.
Which also helps do the editing here for this interview also. And another little disclaimer, thanks to your prompting, Blue Forge Films, we just did a Halloween episode.
Correct.
And which was a lot of fun up at Fort Worden, up at Port Townsend.
Yeah.
And you can watch it on the Claw YouTube channel. But on top of that, hopefully we were talking about planning next year of actually going to a haunted house.
Oh, that would be
and
fun.
This is all because of your prompting on Facebook. Was saying about how much you enjoyed Halloween and horrific and ghostly and scary things. So what book did you write first?
The first one was that picture book with me and my granddaughter. Yeah, and then the second one was it was the part of the trilogy.
Right. And what was the trilogy there?
The trilogy was the Women Arise trilogy, and it's 3 books.
Okay.
Yeah, Revolution, Rise, and I can't even think of the name. Jesus.
Okay.
There's so many books.
Yeah, no. And so is it that 3-volume book is basic? Is it based on fact, or is it primarily fiction, or how would you categorize it?
Well, it's a group of authors that came around and did different things. So
okay.
It's the one with Rise is uplifting. Revolution is something that needs to be changed and fixed. And the other one was just basically about how you feel about the world.
Oh, okay. So it's primarily nonfiction, basically.
Yeah.
In other words, opinion.
Opinion-based, yeah.
Yeah, opinion-based writing by various authors.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is I'll have Blue Forge splice in some pictures of some of the
books,
covers of
yeah.
some of the books and everything.
Yeah.
To show what we're, to show the audience exactly what we're talking about and everything.
Yeah.
And what was the first book you actually had published?
The first one I actually had published was The Haunting of Orchard House.
Oh, okay.
That was solely just me.
Right.
By myself.
Okay.
That one was The Orchard House. And it was spooky. It's actually a story about a couple who goes into the woods and they, one is trying to propose to the other and there's zombies everywhere.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Good old zombie story.
Yes, I love it.
Love
and
zombies.
I'm actually writing the part 2 to that one.
Oh, okay.
As well as the Magic and Nightmare of Me is my second book that,
Right.
which is my memoir. And that one is pretty good too.
So some of your books are actually story collections or collections of people's writings and stuff, rather by other authors rather than just everything written by you.
Well, the other ones, the trilogies,
Yeah.
are the ones with other people.
Right.
But the ones with just me, with my writings
Right.
by myself is The Haunting of Orchard House and The Unnerving and The Magic and The Magic in the Nightmare, that was me. And
Okay.
then I'm also writing the sequel to that, is The Inner Me.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And what's the children's book that you've mentioned?
And that is a story about one of my grandkids and
okay.
how they, inspired me to, be uplifting and love more. And I don't know, it's just when you have grandkids, it's a whole different world than just having kids. So, and this one just set it apart, and I was like, I got to write a book about you.
Oh, okay. So it's actually a factual book, or is it fiction based on fact?
Fiction based on fact.
Okay, there you
Yes, a little mixture in there.
There you go.
Keep it fun.
Oh yeah. So you also have a nonprofit organization.
I do. Yes.
So what's its name?
It is called Power of Two.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And how long have you had that?
As a 501c since 2020, but I've been doing this since 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say doing this, exactly what have you been doing?
Well, I've been doing a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, we got time.
Oh God. Well, homeless. I work with homeless families, homeless youth. I work with house families. I work with people who are experiencing adversities, like people who need household supplies, hygiene products, sleeping bags, tents, tarps, whatever, food, can opener, matches, flashlights, whatever it is that they need, that's what I'm there.
So you literally worked starting with people, well, not necessarily starting, but from people that are homeless all the way through people that are maybe, they have a home, but they're having extreme difficulties, maybe financially or whatever.
Right.
And so you help the whole spectrum.
I have the whole spectrum. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how many people you think you actually probably help, helping and aiding, like on a monthly basis?
Well, last month it was 366.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Don't know what this month gonna entail.
I was going to say, I'm lucky I got you here today. 66 different people and, families and stuff you're helping and everything.
Yeah.
And I know that you do work with Blue Forage on some of that stuff too, because they're also basically a 501c3.
Yes.
And so you're going to be out during Thanksgiving delivering stuff? Oh, okay.
Delivering turkeys. We have 2 families that we are delivering food to.
Okay, cool.
And we take them to encampments and stuff like that. Make sure they have what they need.
Everything. Mm-hmm. What would you say, because you deal with this, what would you say is the percentage of people right now that are homeless due to the economy, and then people that are homeless due to the fact that they might have some kind of substance abuse problem or something like that?
Well, let's get to this first.
Yeah.
The substance abuse is just the symptom of
Okay.
being unhoused.
Right.
So, that is one reason.
Right.
But majority of it is because, majority of the people that I serve
Right.
are low income.
Right.
And, half of the time they're not even able to get a house because, when you're making 1,000 or less
Right.
to income
Yeah.
and rents 15, 16, almost 2,000,
Right.
that doesn't equal up to what you can get. So most of them are out there because of that, And then people's like, oh, well, why don't they just get a roommate? But you got to think,
Well, yeah.
a person who has mental illness can't room with someone because
That
of,
just causes more problems.
right. So, it's a whole system. I call it the circle effect because we're right back where we started from,
Right. And do you deal with Section 8 type issues, or?
Well, yeah, because a lot of them, try to get Section 8, but then their credit's not good, or,
Yeah.
they don't have enough to make to move in. So, that's what we run into
Yeah.
too,
And would you say that there's a certain, unfortunately, because like you said, you get in that circle, that cycle, there's kind of a certain number of people that I guess you would call hardcore homeless that you're working with, but they keep getting trapped in the circle.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers that keep getting trapped in the circle.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there that really needs the help, but where to go?
Yeah.
And then when you see that, you're like, okay, I wish I could do more.
Well, the fact that you're doing anything gives you, put you above, I guess, the average person.
Yeah.
Because most people, they get wrapped up in their own little problems in life and things like that.
Yeah, and most people don't do anything until it hits home.
Oh, yeah,
And then once it hit
exactly.
home, then they want to get,
More
the
involved.
fire under them and get to do something. But, it shouldn't take that fire to get them to do something because, we're all here trying to do the same thing, trying to live. And basically.
Do you think that these experiences that you have affects what you want to write about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If I wrote a book about a lot of stuff, man, oh.
Well, writing can be cathartic, so.
Yeah.
But, well, so is some of the books you've written, because you say you write about yourself and stuff, things like that. And some of that is also based on your experiences with homelessness and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have a whole case of books that ain't even been published yet.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Now we got another interesting subject matter. So how many more? So I write books in my brain, and then someday maybe I get it on paper somehow, but it kind of bounces around.
Yeah.
So you have a whole bunch of books and subjects kind of bouncing around in your brain.
Yeah.
Okay. And you kind of write stories.
I write them as I go.
Okay. But you also, they're kind of in the back of your mind, and so they can revisit them and things like that.
Right.
Okay. So what do you foresee as being your next book?
Ooh, well, I don't know. I'm thinking about writing about the homeless crisis.
Okay.
That and, how to live out there, a book of a survival because,
that would be an excellent book. If you could write a book, you call it like Street Survival in, the Pacific Northwest type stuff. And explain based on your experiences what people have to deal with.
Yeah.
I think that good chance that would turn up into a local bestseller,
Yeah.
because then people would see, okay, Dakoda has been involved with this, and this is what she's seen, and this is what she's done to help.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing is being cold, wet, and hungry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And everything. So, so Thanksgiving, of course, you already said you're going to be delivering at least to 2 families, like
Yeah.
a full turkey dinner or whatever, which is great. And during the other months of the year, what kind of food items and things like that
Well,
are probably most beneficial to the homeless?
Well, every Thursday we have a meals program where they can come from 9 to 11, pick up food, and some meals and hygiene products, toiletries, and whatever else.
And where is this located at?
It's at 621 Tacoma Avenue South
Okay.
in Tacoma, Washington. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is where they can come and pick up and get the stuff that they need, can openers,
Yeah. So
whatever
you have
else.
a little office there, or you just...
Yeah, I have a
okay.
little office there that, is donated by the United Methodist First Church. And
okay, that's cool.
I'm grateful for that, and they help out. And, people can come and get food from there, and it's
And all the
awesome.
things, like you said,
Yeah.
if there's an extra tent laying around,
Yep.
something like that, and they have no other place
Whatever
to live.
is donated, that's
Yeah.
what is given out, and whatever is needed. Because I feel like if you have the stuff that they need, then they
Yeah.
will be able to use it. Right now we're in need of everything because
okay.
Christmas is coming around, and we have we have 137 kids that we have to prepare for, and I'm like looking for donations for that. So yeah.
So I'm going to have you say the name of your organization again, and I'll try to get the editor, so
Okay.
then we'll flash it on the screen, because we want donations. So what's the official name of the organization?
Power of Two.
Power of Two, and it's located at 621
South Tacoma Way.
South Tacoma Way.
Yeah.
And and Thursdays are usually the days for pickup.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted to come by and donate stuff, how would they do that?
Just come to the address or call me. That way, I can be there when they come, and I'm not out delivering.
Do you want us to put your phone number on the screen?
Yeah.
And you run a little, okay, well, I'll have to get the phone number from you, and we'll make sure we do that when we edit
I'll
this.
leave my phone number and the address.
Okay.
And then
well,
that
yeah,
way you can flash it on
we'll
the screen.
flash it on the old screen, so somebody in the public can see this. So you don't necessarily have to live in Tacoma, of course, to donate, because Dakoda works at Kitsap, Pierce, all over the place. Doesn't
Right.
matter where you're at, the
I will
organization
come.
tries to help.
Yeah.
She will come, yes, because she comes out to Kitsap all the time and everything. So what's the... I know you said you're going to write another book in your little horror series
Yes.
there, horrific series there. But beyond that, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself at?
Oh, #1 bestseller for one.
There we go.
I would see myself in 5 years from now making sure that everyone has a place to go and safe
Okay.
and sound, for one.
Right.
And, I'm working towards that,
Right.
trying to get Congress, the government, to see that, hey, we need housing for people who are on low income.
Right.
And not the low income that they're thinking, but the low income.
The real low income.
Low income.
Yeah.
Because there's 85% of the people that I serve is on retirement, veterans, Section 8, and they're not making enough to even have a regular apartment.
Right.
So, the apartments out here are great, but we need something that'll accommodate those.
Well, I know there were, a while back, they were experimenting with utilizing older hotels and stuff, motels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you get involved with any of that? Or?
I'm not involved with that, but I
Okay.
heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was kind of curious to see if you thought something like that would work, because there was a bunch of controversy about them going and buying supposedly, you know, the county or the state buying an old, basically a rundown motel. You know, the guy's going bankrupt or something, so they buy it and then they try to put people in there. But then the question was always, are you just kind of warehousing and pushing somebody off to the side, or are you actually trying to help them? I think that's kind of the...
Well, I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I really don't have the answer to that.
Yeah.
But I do know that, you know, they have bought the hotels and they are doing that. And, you know, if they are for people that are low income, that is great. That's awesome to get them off the streets.
Well,
and then
yeah.
to have them have a place of their own, and then they don't have to share, you know, especially people who have mental illness, you know, and they are not capable of sharing space with other people.
Well,
so, you know, that would be great.
So people with medical issues, you know, how can your organization help?
Well, we do different things, like we try to send them places that they can get the service that they need. But, you know, majority of the time, you know, we don't have medical supplies or anything like that. Yeah. We do have like bandages and stuff like that. But as far as like other, you know, but we also have resources where we send them to places that we know that can help.
Exactly, that can try to help.
Yeah.
So I greatly appreciate the fact that you are doing that, and I also greatly appreciate the fact that you were able to come here today.
Okay.
And I know that this little showcase, we usually talk about writing and all filmmaking and all this stuff. And you're, by the way, she's big into filmmaking, you know. She does a lot of stuff with Blue Forest Films and things like that. But kind of wrapping it up here, if you wanted to tell the people that are going to be watching this interview, there's some message you'd like to give to them, either about writing or just about helping the homeless, or what would you like to say?
Well, the one message that I would like to get out there is that no matter what it is that you do in everyday life, just take time to acknowledge, look, see people. Don't walk by them, just see them. Because a lot of people out here, you know, are walking around every day, they're in their phones and they're not paying attention to other people. You know, especially when you walk by homeless. Take time to say, hey, how you doing? Acknowledge them and let them know that you see them, because you might be that very person that saved their life.
Okay.
Or make a difference in their life just by saying hello.
Thanks again for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
We're expecting to see more of your books and everything, and in the very near future. And so this is going to wrap up this episode of the Kitsap Literary Artists and Writers Creative Showcase. Kitsap Literary Artists and Writers exists to help all the creatives out there, whether you be a writer, a filmmaker, a painter, we don't care. We want you to have an opportunity to be able to present your creations to the general public. Kitsap Literary Artists and Writers meets twice a month on the first and third Wednesdays. We've had to relocate to the Denny's on Kitsap Way because unfortunately the Sparrows wound up closing, which is another example of some of the problems in this economy we're having right now. We normally meet around 7 o'clock. Anybody who's any type of creative individual shows up. We promise we don't bite, we don't charge dues or anything like that. We look for venues where people can sell their books or their paintings or their crafts and everything, and on a monthly, yearly basis. We're always at the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, and we're always at the Blackberry Festival in Bremerton. This show and a whole bunch of other shows we've taped can be viewed on Comcast Channel 12 and Wave Cable Astound Channel 3. We usually broadcast these shows 6 o'clock and 6:30 on Saturday, and we've been doing that for years. If you check up on YouTube, we have a Kitsap Literary Artists and Writers channel. It also has, I would say now, over about 100 different episodes that we've done over the years of every type of creative you can think of. If there's somebody out there who would like to be interviewed, of course, get a hold of me, Mark Miller, and I'll be more than happy to interview you. If it wasn't for the actions of the Bremerton Kitsap Access television staff and also the Blue Forge group that helps me with the editing and creation of these shows also, this showcase would not exist. And so with that, I wish to have the public out there have a very happy day. Thanksgiving's coming up. Also, even though you'll be showing us past the Veterans Day, pat a veteran on the back. And have a nice day, a nice month, and a nice year. Good day.